Thursday Thoughts, another edition. Well, most of us are suckers for podcasts and YouTube channels and such like things. And one of the ones I like watching is Goldcast and the TED Talks. So I was watching one of the Goldcast videos, a speech by Rick Rigsby, I think he's an author. And the title was Lessons from a Third Grade Dropout, or a chef who was his dad. And if you go through the video, it's one very inspirational video. If you go through the video, he outlines the lessons that he learns from his dad while growing up that have grown to impact him and his life. And one of the lessons he talks about is that one should be able to combine knowledge and wisdom in order to make an impact in a society or a setup where you live. Another one that he mentions in his video is that even though you as an individual are tough, you need to always remember to be kind. The third lesson from this video is that as an individual, you need to make sure that your serving style is always bigger than your ego. That's some deep statement right there, but it's not the focus of this video at the moment. And the last one that I picked from his video or from his speech is that if you're going to do something, then you better learn to do it right. All those put aside, one main aspect of his video that really felt was of a heavy point is the fact that his father kept on asking him, how are you living? How are you living? How are you living? Such a simple question does not seem to have anything on it, but if you look at it deeply, it kind of sparks up the thought of one individual trying to actually establish how you are living. And according to me and how I feel, one should live in a way that your life makes another person's life easier. Every day of your life, whatever you're doing, just make sure that in you doing it, it makes another person's life easier. Now, the reason I'm picking this part of the speech is because everybody knows that I'm a farmer and I'm into farming a lot. So currently, as the world stands, one of the biggest challenges that we face is lifestyle diseases, diabetes, cancer, and all the other like of such diseases. And as medics said, a great contributor to most of these lifestyle diseases are actually our eating habits or the choices of foods that we choose to consume. One key thing to note, a bad thing on some farmers and also maybe a negative thing on the consumers as well, is that especially the poultry farmers actually, is that a good number of them actually choose to sell their chicken when they realize they are getting sick and are actually facing the possibility of a loss. So their move for selling this chicken is not even just to make profit or to get money out of it, but instead it's to evade or avoid the loss of actually the chicks dying, which may be because of possibly not vaccinating the birds or possibly not treating them and such like things. But the challenge with this is that in many instances, before one gets to this decision of actually selling off their stock, one thing they always do is try to treat their birds. And by doing that, what happens is that sometimes most of these farmers do not actually get to take time and read the instructions that are always given on the medication packages for the chicken medicines. But another challenge is that a great number of farmers actually just should I term it self-diagnosing, or actually just trying to predict or choose whatever treatment they'd like to offer to their chicken. But the challenge is that one, there is possibility of mistreating your birds, which I'd leave the vets, or is it called, how do you term it? A misdiagnosis on the part of medication, and also Yes, it's a drug abuse in the form that maybe you are issuing a drug that is not supposed to treat the specific disease you're targeting, or possibly overdosing the birds and such like things if you do not read the packages, which should be avoided by you actually engaging a vet. That said and done, once they have started medicating their birds and the period continues without actually uh, seeing any positive improvement on the chicken, they now choose to sell them off into the market. And most of the traders that are actually situated in the markets never really take the time to check whether the birds were under medication or what. They are up for quick money. Pick, sell, pick, sell. Now, the challenge is that you as a consumer, there is the possibility that you are going to buy birds that were previously under medication and are going to be sold to you without actually observing the withdrawal period for that drug. Hence, such lack of concentration on this part of the farmers may actually cause you to increase the possibility of interacting with substances or medications that are transferred from the chicken to you as a consumer, and possibly make it kind of challenging for you to, not challenging, kind of expose you to the possibility of consuming products that may lead to these lifestyle diseases that we are actually facing. Now, that said and done, it's really important for farmers to actually observe the withdrawal periods for their chicken before selling them off to the market, both for medication and vaccinations. And the most key important part that this was to talk about is you as a consumer, you need to be able to ascertain where you are sourcing your birds or where you're sourcing your chicken from before you take them to your table and consume. And that is where Barbarian Farmers comes in. Barbarian Farmers is a farm that is established in Homa Bay. I am the director. At our farm, we offer table-ready chicken for you, our customers. If you are in Homa Bay and its environs, you can give us a call. Our number is publicly displayed on our social media platforms, Barbarian Farmers Limited on Facebook, and if you can reach me on Twitter, it's Deragot. But the process that we go through with the farmers that we partner with to ensure that the chicken that we sell to you, our consumer, is actually observing the requirements of withdrawal for both medications and vaccinations, helps us make you safer. And I hope you as consumers can actually, wherever you are, if you are not in Homa Bay or its environment and cannot be able to reach out to us, can be able to deal with a farm and not just traders that are out for making profits only. You should be able to deal with a farm that can actually trace the processes, or it's called product traceability, being able to track how they manage their farms and their chickens, just in order to avoid the possibility of interacting with such cases of birds being sold to you just immediately after treatment, or eggs being sold to you. And some of these medications can actually be transferred from the bird to the egg and to you without you actually taking note of who you buy from or what you consume. So that is what I wanted to talk about in this video. So I know my shift went from how are you living and right into farming and poultry farming and what we do as a business, but in your life as an individual or as a business person or as anyone interacting with the society, how are you living? How is your business interacting with the society? What impact do you and your business have on the society that is around you? And actually, in the long run, is it a positive impact or a negative impact? Question to you: how are you living? It's a question that everyone ought to ask themselves.